Alright, today we're going to look at a very fun team. It's probably not the most sensible build in the world. I've said that a few times recently. But yeah, it is very entertaining, and it does involve a lot of my favourite units, which is also nice. Now, one of them is not actually going to be on my team. It's going to be infiltrating the opposing team using Fringe Head. I think the change to Fringe Head has really been pretty amazing for customs, because previously it was very, very difficult to get a Fringe Head team going. You had to play the pet that you were going to copy at the back of the team. So you ended up wasting roster space. But then on top of that, as I actually waste the opossums here thinking that we've got the old Fringe Head, the new Fringe Head does not count as a faint pet. So you cannot get the buffs from opossum. Pretty funny mistake there. But yeah, Fringe Head has pretty strong starting stats anyway, so it's not too big a deal. But yeah, the previous version of Fringe Head, while it did allow you to make some fun teams, it was very, very difficult to make them work. And oftentimes the unit that you wanted to copy at the back would just get sniped and yeah, kind of spoil things. But now that you can use it just like Beluga, it makes it much easier to set up these types of squads and, you know, and actually them have a chance to win, even though they are very inefficient. So I can't remember exactly when we get the pet that we're going to put inside the Fringe Head here, but it is going to be Toadigrade. I think it may be this run where I wait quite a while before I get the Toadigrade, because there's no real benefit to putting it in the team initially. But I think we're going to take the Iguana. Yeah, we definitely need Iguana. I actually made a mistake there. I should have also bought the Blackberry onto the Chipmunk instead of the Fringe Head, getting a bit ahead of myself. Yeah, Iguana, very nice to have in the early game, because there's going to be lots of teams that have these snipe units. And then it is also fun where the Fringe Head puts the 1/1 unit onto their side and the Iguana automatically snipes it. But we don't actually want the Iguana to knock the unit out on the other side of the board. So yeah, we're not going to upgrade its level. We're just going to keep it doing 2 damage at level 1. And I just took the additional Iguana there for the 1/1. So yeah, at the moment, these 1/1 snipes are going to knock out the unit. But ultimately, we want to have a unit on their side of the board that has higher than 2 HP, so it will survive the Iguana snipe. The only real downside of Fringe Head being changed is that you can't feed it food as freely as you could before. So previously, because it was a faint pet, you could just give it as much food as you wanted, but now if you feed it, it's going to swallow a different unit. So you've got to be careful once you get the pet inside the Fringe Head that you actually want. And here I kind of was surprised that the Takushi push activated the Iguana, but of course Iguana works on push as well, not just summon. And here we'll activate the Flounder. Rare case of me actually wanting the Fringe Head to be a higher level as well. And here is the pet in the shop that we want, and it is the Toadigrade. So we'll take the level up on the Fringe Head. Although this is going to make the opposing team stronger, we are on 5 hearts, so we can probably risk it. And you'll see exactly what should happen is that once the Toadigrade gets summoned on the other side, okay, maybe we will we see it on this one? Yes, we will. Okay, here we go. So the Toadigrade gets summoned, and then the Toad gives it weakness because of the Iguana snipe, and that results in the Toadigrade re-summoning. So we can actually force the opponent to get a bunch of Toadigrade summons, which I think is pretty funny, but it shouldn't really benefit them too much once we get the whole team set up. And here, yeah, I was about to accidentally level up the Iguana to level 2, but we don't want to do that. We'll just keep it level 1. And we're still on 5 hearts, so we don't have to take anything stronger here. Okay, we actually end up getting another Toadigrade in shop, which is nice because it means we can feed the Fringe Head. Ultimately, the unit here that matters the most is the Toad. We need the Toad to be level 3 so that we get as many activations as possible from the Tardigrade. I think we could actually still win here. Okay, maybe not, because the Iguana doesn't have quite enough yet. It was a 1 HP save on the Peacock there. So yeah, definitely feed the Toad. Probably should actually give it some more health, yeah. Make sure that it stays alive. And here we can feed the Fringe Head. Yeah, just roll once. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, I guess we're keeping the Tardigrade frozen because I didn't like the fact that we lost that previous turn. Here's Ares. And we actually give them a Mimic Octo instead. But I think it is going to be a win. So now we really just are missing something to help us take advantage of the fact that we're summoning lots of things for the opposing team. Now you could play Flycatcher. Flycatcher isn't the greatest. You've also got the potential for the Flycatcher to snipe things that you don't want to be sniped. So instead what we're going to do is make things a bit easier on ourselves, and we're going to take Black Rhino. As this opposing team actually ends up giving us some more stats on the Toad. And we are just going to scrape the win. So yeah, we'll take the Melon on the Fringe Head. There were quite a lot of games of this where I got into position like this and then I didn't have the... I didn't have any equipment on the Fringe Head, and you know, once you kind of stall scaling at 2020, you're not going to be able to knock anything out unless you have Melon or Steak. Or Pepper, I guess. So we should see the combo work now. So because the Tardigrade survives, that results in another snipe. That results in another attack. And then the Black Rhino is going to get to snipe. And Black Rhino was actually changed to snipe the most healthy enemy. I hadn't really noticed that in the patch notes. But here we also get the Slug. So the goal is to have Slug with Mushroom in second position so that it can farm attacks off the Tardigrade without actually knocking anything out. And there's the Mushroom, so it works out perfectly. And this is the perfect type of opponent here. They don't have any disruption. Of course, this can go horribly wrong if they end up with a unit behind the Tardigrade like Cobra or Snake. But I'm willing to bet that most of the opposing teams here are going to be big stats. And the snipe goes off. It's still a fairly close run thing because we don't have level 2 Black Rhino yet. But now we do have level 3 Toad, which means we should get even more Tardigrade resummons. Okay, this is a strong looking team. And yeah, we might be in a bit of difficulty here. We should get the full sequence of Tardigrade summons, but it will actually end up sniping the butterfly in the backline because it copied our stats. So I think this one is not going to be a win. Yeah, definitely not. Tier 6 Rhino loses to Tier 5 Rhino. And we just need the level up. Okay, we don't get it this time. To be honest, there's quite a few different teams that this would beat. And it's probably not going to be this one. Because the unit has 35 health, so the Rhino isn't actually going to be able to kill it. But it's still fun watching all the Tardigrades summon for the opposing team. There must be a bunch of other ways you could do a setup like this. Yeah, we just lose again. So would that have been a win if we'd had level 2 Rhino? I'm pretty sure we're about to get it though. Here we go. And 2 more extra, yeah. And it's actually an ailment team, so we're going to end up losing the Mushroom here, which is really annoying. But now we got the Black Rhino, we're going to get double snipe. So the Manticore, which is on 22 HP, and the Mothman are both going to take some serious damage here. 2 more attacks. The Toad uses up all its triggers, and then the Mothman is going to get knocked out by the Iguana, and we take the victory. So pretty fun mechanical team there. But yeah, Fringehead, Tardigrade, Toad, Iguana, all in the same build. You'll love to see it.